What's good, YouTube? Little Dre231 here, and I'm going to bring you guys deck profile. Then after I get done with this deck profile, I'm going to do another deck profile. Then I'm going to upload both of those deck profiles tomorrow. So, but I went to my locals Sunday. Finally had a Sunday off where I could actually go up there, and I did some trading. And I've acquired some cards that I've been needing, and I can finally say that this will more than likely be my final build of Monarchs, and it's just I'm gonna have to take it to the regionals and let you guys know how I did. So, gonna be profiling Monarchs, and let's get started. And some cards I'll explain, which is really just self-explanatory by this time. So, play 3 Ether. I have to say this is the MVP card of Monarchs, because say you're going up against Cosmos and you have let's see, Erebus, basically an Erebus or a Mega Theslos, and that's the biggest monster that you have, and you don't have anything, and you want to hold on to this until your next turn. But say they go Tin Can or Farm Girl, banish the special summon Destroyer, and they target your big monster on board, you can use this effect, banish a Monarch spell or trap, tribute this, and since Dark Destroyer already had its target, and the target is no longer on board because you tribute it, you can do a lot of stuff there. So, I say Ether is MVP of the deck. And then 3 Erebus. And I've been doing a lot of testing with a lot of cards, and I'll explain to you why I don't play some cards and why I play certain cards over other cards. 3 Erebus, good turn 1 play. Just have them start off with 5 instead of 6. 2 Karaz. Yes, I finally picked up my Karazes. First, when I started playing the deck, I've seen profiles where people playing Karaz, and they said that you need it, and I was skeptical about it. But after numerous testings, you do need Karaz, at least 1. Some people don't like to run 1, some people like to run 3, some people like to run 2. I think 2 is the better number, because it does fix your brick hands. So if you could go this and have like a dead card in your hand that you want to get rid of, say like a Prime or Panditi, just tribute that, send 2, and special summon this, pop this, and whatever you want to get rid of, and draw 2. So I do like Karaz. 1 Majesties, self-explanatory, and 1 Angmar, the Fiendish Monarch. Now, I've been testing with this on DN, and I like this card. I really do. Now, I know I'm supposed to be up with my game, but I didn't know that this came out in Premium Gold 3, or Infinite Gold, whatever everyone wants to call it. But I tested this at my locals. I tested it with 3 on DN. It was too much. I tested it with 2. It was still a little cloggy. And when I was at my locals, I just threw 1 in, and it's perfect at 1. All you need is 1. But that's all the tributes. I don't run Mega Thessalos. Um, Mega Thessalos really doesn't contribute to anything at all. Um, and that's the thing about this deck. You need all your tributes to contribute to something like this. When it's tribute summon, you banish a Monarch spell or trap from your grave, add the same copy from your deck to your hand. Majesties, stop effects. Karaz, pop up to 2, you draw the same number. Erebus, send 2 Monarch spell or traps from deck to grave and shuffle 1 from your opponent's field, hand, or grave. Same effect, but you get the special one. So, say you have like a dead tenacity, or you draw into a tenacity. This can help you get any one of these. Will accept Majesties. Can get you any one of these, and just be able to advance your game state. So that's why I don't play Mega Thessalos, because it doesn't contribute to anything. It's just looking at your opponent's hand. Thessalos, where I've seen people play Thessalos. Thessalos doesn't contribute anything except hand disruption to your opponent. Caius doesn't contribute anything except in the mirror match. I do plan on picking up a Mega Caius. I'm not 100% sure. I have been playtesting with it, and I do like it, but I don't know if I want to put Mega Caius in, because the only thing that it's good for is basically the mirror match. So I'll keep testing. But back to the deck profile. Vassals, 2 Edia, 3 Eidos. Perfect ratio. Because as soon as you get one off, you're set to go for the second one. Which you can just keep reusing that if it's engraved. So you just banish this, special summon another Eidos. So I found this ratio to be very good. And to round off the monsters, 2 Valor, which 2 Valor in the main is better this format, just for the simple fact for all the Cosmos, the Draco Pals, the Monarchs, Cosmos. So that was my hand trap that I chose, and I believe it's 17, 18 monsters. Now on to the long line of spell cards. 3 Tenacity, self-explanatory. You play enough, and there is no monster right here that I cannot use Tenacity on. So that's why you play 3. Some people play 2 because they run Vanities. For a little bit, I was actually testing Dark Dust Spirit, and I'll explain why after the profile. But 3 Panditi, 3 Stormforth, power card of the deck, I would have to say. 3 Domain, 2 Return, which I've seen people play 3 because this card is amazing. And I put Upstart back in the deck. I was testing Upstart at the very beginning, and I didn't like it, but it's more draw power and consistency. So Frost Blast of the Monarchs, been testing this card too, and this card is amazing. 1 for 1, and that's it for the spells. On to the traps. My traps is Solemn Scolding, Escalation, and 2 Prime. Escalation, we've had our ups and downs, but I do like escalation. Um, scolding, scolding is, how can I put it? Basically, a trap that says you're not going to do anything, and I'm just going to stop you. I mean, it's a one-time stop, but you just have to use it at the right time. And if you actually hit it at the right time and don't have your opponent like juke you out about it, then Solemn Scolding is a powerful card in Monarchs. Um, and a side deck I've had, God, I've been up and down with this side deck, but I think I'm happy with this. 2 Maxi, 2 Battle Fader, Wargeki, Darko, March. March, I do like March. It's been so many times where I go Domain, March, Eidos, and then Tribute for Majesty's Fiend, and my opponent just scoots because there's nothing that you can do. The only out to that is an MST or Twin Twister. That is the only out to that, and if you don't have it, then it's just, I mean, you're just stopped. 2 Forbidden Graveyard. The thing about this deck that I've noticed, most decks can go into Abyss Dweller and just shut Monarchs and Mermail and Burning Abyss down. Well, with Monarchs, you really don't have anything for graveyard effects. So if you go up against Burning Abyss or Mermails, I mean, you have Majesty's Fiend against Mermails, but it's really nothing that you can do if you can't get it. So, Forbidden Graveyard, which you can discard, you have discard outlets. I mean, you have Edia, you have Eidos, and you have Erebus. And not to mention you have Frostblast, you have Panditi, you have Prime. It's so many discarding outlets that you can have for this card, and it negates graveyard effects. So you're even Cosmos, it even stops Cosmos. Well, the big ships anyway. And that's the one thing that I notice about Monarchs. That's why most of their worst matchups are decks that have graveyard effects. So, 2 Forbidden Graveyard. I have been testing it and I do like it, and it works. 3 Twin Twister. I was maining 2, but when I found out that the new stuff came out and I picked up my Karazas, I'm just going to go ahead and saddle, because game 1 normally don't have to deal with Maska Restrict or anything like that. So if I can get my opponent to saddle man, I mean, I have the Twin Twisters, I have the Karaz, I have Frost Blast, which Frost Blast is just like Galaxy Cyclone. So, and I have Breakthrough, lose 1 turn, and the second Scolding. Now, second Scolding is mirror match and other matchups. To go along with the Veilers, the deck Monarchs suffer from monster effects also. if you can't stop a monster effect, and it say you have an established board and you don't have Valor or Lose Return or Breakthrough, and say you have a board of, let's say, Erebus, so you have a board of Erebus and March. This is your board. Now, say you're going against Draco Pals, because, I mean, that's the only thing I can actually think of that will be able to break through this. But say you're going against Draco Pals, and you have the March, but you don't have Domain, so they can special summon from the extra deck. And I'll show you why these cards are important. Now, what if they completely disregard your March? Because Ignister doesn't target, so they can just swoop this back to the deck and attack you for game, because they can spam the field like that. So they summon Ignister. You don't have any one of these cards at all, and they have a full board. They have Ignister, they have Dynester, and some other monsters. Swing it back, completely disregard of March. But now, if you had the Valor or Set, which you don't control special summon monster, you lose one turn. Breakthrough skill, Valor it. If you disrupt any play that Draco Pals do, that slows them down. Because Ignister, I feel, furthers their game state. Being able to special summon a Slayer from the deck, and being able to just pop one, excuse me, being able to pop one and just shuffle anything that they want back. So, because I believe Ignister is 2850, or yeah, 2850. So, regardless that it can run over this, they cannot further the game state because the effect has been negated. So, that's why I play those. But that's the Monarch deck profile. Hope you guys enjoyed. Leave a like, comment, subscribe, and I'm going to be doing my second deck profile. So you guys look forward to that. And until next time, peace.